Nice and snug, isn't it? No ropes, no metal, nothing abrasive against your skin. Only the softest satin. Just the way you like it. Now, what else? No sleeping medication in your drinks, no controlled substances, no hitting you over the head and causing a concussion. There's no point if it ends up with me having to drag you to the hospital at the end of the day. That would be such a waste. Just good old-fashioned waiting until you fall asleep, right? And let's see here. Placing at the edge of the balcony in the middle of a busy suburb where people can hear you when you scream into the night. But of course, not for too long, or else the neighbours might think you're actually in danger instead of brushing it off as some college kids having one too many shots. Sorry I couldn't make the balcony happen. We can't all have nice places like you. Best I could do was the backyard, unfortunately. But at least it's out in the open, right? Should be plenty of neighbours around to hear anything going wrong. So picky about your wants, though. I don't know the sorts of things you've been watching or listening to, but I'm shocked by how much you seem to hate the norm. Yeah, of course. We're all just supposed to know everything by this point, right? Kinda hard when you don't use the same password for all your accounts. But I guess you wanted to make it a challenge, huh? All the standard kidnapping stuff makes it so much easier. They've even got their own script to make the whole experience sound more authentic. But you just had to be picky. I saw the notes. Pretty sure the big scribbles over the lines about finally being awake or to stop struggling were a decent enough hint. Yeah, and when you spend months researching all of the standard methods and perfect every little word you're going to say, it's a little soul-crushing to find out that it's not the sort of thing that you want. So unfortunately, I had to improvise a lot. Sorry if I ruined your little fantasy, but it's only fair at this point. But then again, I'm sure this is a lot better than the stuff you find boring nowadays. Don't get me wrong, this sort of thing is why I like you to begin with. I mean, I got into listening to those audios too. Mostly the basic ones, but they really inspired me. It's hard finding other people who like that stuff in real life. So when I saw those thumbnails on your phone a while back, it took everything for me to not start gushing about it in front of you. I wasn't going to start freaking out at a coffee shop of all places. It's the closest one to my house anyway. So, it would have sucked trying to find a new place to hang out. But I wanted to find a good place to tell you. And what better way than turning that fantasy into a reality? I was just a casual listener before, but I really got into researching the videos you liked. I remembered the channel, so I took some time to watch everything they've posted to get a feel for the stuff you liked. I figured that wasn't the only person you watched, so I spent some time looking about your channel. But I should have figured it would have been kind of embarrassing having a public playlist of this sort of thing. So, I had to get closer. I followed you around for a while until I got a feel for your schedule. I wanted to see if I could get a password into your laptop, but it's pretty much impossible with how you've angled your room most of the time. Meaning I had to do this the hard way and find a way in. Those 30 minutes you usually leave the back door unlocked for your dog are plenty of time to snoop. But can you imagine what I felt when I saw that list on your desk? I might as well have won the lottery. Well, kinda. If your list was made up of easy things, then maybe. But it was a lot better than finding passwords to every site you visit. I'd still have to do research, even if I found something. But this took a lot of extra time off my hands. Huh? What's so funny? Look, if I didn't do something right, I get it. I'm not used to this yet. But honestly, I feel like I should at least get some credit for the effort I put in. It's not perfect, but when is anyone's first time doing something? Unless you wanted someone with a lot more experience to try this out on you. I'm not sure what else you expected. I mean, you didn't, right? I figured it was just wishful thinking. Since how many people out there are actually willing to do this in the first place? Well, how many people do you know that would? I guess that means I'm one of them, right? So who's the other? Huh? Wait, you're not serious, are you? So have you done this before, or is this new for you too? I don't know, it just sounded like a list of things you'd do after you've already gotten the basics down. You haven't, done this before, have you? With who? How many? Oh. Well, what happened to them? Just like that? Did no one call the police on you? Wait, what? Where on earth are you finding people like this? That might have been nice to know earlier. I never thought this would be that popular locally. But I get it. It's not exactly the easiest thing to put out there in the public without getting completely ostracized. Oh well, I don't know if I would have been interested in trying this with anyone else. I mean, you're the one I took the time to get to know, so maybe with a bit more practice, I could have gotten up to the level you expected. Wait, you don't have to do that. The whole point is that I'm supposed to learn with practice before I try it again. If you do this to me, I don't know how well I'd be able to internalize it. Wait, really? How did you know about me? I knew I needed more practice. I need to work on my stealth. But what about earlier when I brought you here from your house? You were out cold. No, don't tell me. Way to feel any sense of accomplishment I might have felt today. If you couldn't already tell, I'm still new at this. I guess I wouldn't mind if you went through with your original plan, even if I'm not the one doing the work. It would be nice to know what it feels like to be the person experiencing a kidnapping. But I'd still like to finish off today properly, just because I put a lot of work into setting everything up. And if possible, could you tell me how I'm doing so I can improve? Awesome. I have a lot more plans for tonight. Even more than what you wrote down, actually. Since it seemed like you enjoyed surprises. Well, I've got a few up my sleeve, so hopefully it'll make up for any more failures.